Hello students, today I am going to teach class 9th subject science chapter 6. Chapter name is tissues. In about tissues, definition of tissues, this means that particular function is carried out by a cluster of cells at a definite place in the body. This cluster of cells is called tissues. For example, tissues, blood, like blood, phloem, muscles, all of these are example of tissues. Tissues mainly two types, plant tissues and animal tissues. Plant tissues is mainly two types, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. The main features of the meristematic tissues, the growth of plant occur only a certain specific region. This is because the dividing tissues, also known as meristematic tissues. The meristematic tissues located only at these points, depending on the region where they are present. Meristematic tissues are classified apical, lateral, and intercalary. New cells produced by meristem are initially like those of meristem itself. So, apical meristem is the present at the growing tip of the stem and root. Increase the length of the stem and root. It is called meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues. Then second plant tissues of second is the permanent tissues. Permanent tissues. Where what happen, the cells formed by the meristematic tissues and permanent tissues, they form a permanent tissues. Process of taking up a permanent shape, size, function, it is differentiates, so it is called permanent tissues. Permanent tissues is mainly two types, simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues, a few layers of cells form a basic packing tissues. This tissue is called parenchyma, a type of permanent tissues. It consists of a relative upper unspecialized cells with thin cell walls. They are live cells. They are easily loosely packed. So it is in this simple permanent tissues, xylem and phloem are present, vascular bundles, pith, medullary rack, cambium. So it's all organisms are present in the simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues, flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissues, parenchyma. It allow easy bending in various part of the plant. A parenchyma, main function of parenchyma tissues, the bending in various part of the plant, leaf, stem, without breaking. So it is very useful in the plants. Okay. Then complex tissues. A complex tissue structure of showing a complex tissues. A complex tissue, different type of tissues we have discussed until now are all made of one type of cells. A common function, xylem and phloem are example of such complex tissues. Xylem consists of a trachea, vessel, xylem parenchyma. And xylem fibers. Phloem is made up of four type of elements: sheath tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. Then xylem is consist of its four four elements: trachea, vessel, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Phloem is made up of a four type of element: sheath tube, companion cells, phloem fiber, and phloem parenchyma. Okay, then main function of the xylem. The parenchyma stores food and help in the sideway conduction of water. Fibers are mainly supportive in function. So phloem is unlike xylem in that the material can move in both directions. Phloem transport food from leaf to other part of the plant, except the phloem fibers. Phloem cells are living cells. Okay. Then next is the animal tissues. When we breathe, we can actually feel the movement of our chest. So it is animal tissues. A contraction and relaxation of these cells result in movement. So it is contraction, relaxation, movement. Its activities related to support of the animal tissues. During breathing, we inhale oxygen. Where does this oxygen go? Observe the lungs and then in transport to all the body cell through blood. Why? Through blood. Why? A question arises, why would cells need oxygen? Function of mitochondria we studied earlier provide a clue to this question's blood flow and carries various substances from one part to body of the other part of the body. Okay. Then blood and muscles are both examples of tissues found in our body are animal tissues. Many animal tissues such as epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues, nervous tissues. Blood is a type of connective tissues. Muscles form a muscular tissues. Epithelial tissues. One by one, animal tissues is described. Epithelial tissues, a covering or protective tissues in the animal body are called epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissues are main function of epithelial tissues: cell lining, blood vessel and lung, alveoli, and where transportation of substance occur through a selectively permeable surface. The simple plate kind of epithelium, this is called the simple squamous epithelium. Then second is the connective tissues. Blood is a type of connective tissues. Take a drop of blood, a slide, and observe different cells present under the microscope. Blood has a fluid like a liquid matrix called plasma, in which red blood cells, white blood cells, and blood platelets. Blood is three types: RBC, WBC, and blood platelets. Okay. In bone is the another example of connective tissues. It forms the framework that supported the body. It also anchors muscles and support the main organs of the body. It is strong and non-flexible tissues. The two bones can be connected to each other by another type of connective tissues called the ligament. What is ligament? Two bones can be connected to each other by another type of connective tissues is called a ligament. The tissue is very elastic. So it has considerable strength. Ligaments contain very little matrix. Tendons connect muscles to bone and are another type of connective tissues. connective tissues. Next is the muscular tissues. Muscular tissues consist of elongated cell, also called the muscles fiber. These tissues is responsible for movement in our body. Muscles contain special protein called the contractile protein, which contract and relax to cause movement. Then next animal tissues is nervous tissues. Nervous tissues. All cells possess the ability to respond to stimuli. However, cells of the nervous tissues are highly specialized for being stimulated and then transmitting the stimulus very rapidly from one place to another within the body. The brain, spinal cord, nerves are all composed of the nervous tissues. The cells of these tissues are called nervous cells. A neuron consists of a cell body with a nucleus and cytoplasm, from which long, thin, hair-like part arises. Usually each neuron has a single long part called the axon and many short branches part called the dendroid. And individual nerve cells may be up to a meter long. Many nerve fibers bound together by connective tissues make up a nerve. So it is the nervous system or neuron. It is the nervous tissues. Nervous tissues, axon, dendrite, nucleus, cell body, and nerve ending. Its structure or its diagram is very important for board examination. So, this is this chapter is completed, and then all exercise of in between the chapter of these questions from these chapters I make a PDF, then transfer to you. Okay, students, today it's completes. Then next topic I will take next topic. Then okay, students, thank you.